Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tatiana, and today I am back with another video. Now this video is definitely going to be something different. I am showing you how to achieve a natural looking quick weave that looks like your own hair, even as a beginner. So if that's something that you want to learn about, girl, make sure you keep watching this video.
When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you got it right. Body with a skin polite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm tryna go up tonight. Always ain't hope she's left to right. I just wanna live in a fantasy.
So first things first, guys, let me just say my voice is doing some weird things because my body is getting over a sickness that tried to take my voice away. But nonetheless, we are going to get on with this voiceover. So what you guys see me doing right now is doing my braid down. I definitely want to make sure that I say that you do not have to be an expert braider. I know people who don't even do braid downs under their quick waves. They just put a stocking cap on over a slick ponytail. But because my hair is so thick, I just parted my hair in a couple of sections and I am starting my quick weave with a braid down. So typically when I am done with my braid down, I normally go over my scalp with some type of oil or grease because as you guys can see, I have really flaky, dry scalp. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that before sewing your braids down or clipping your braids down like I'm doing right now. You can choose to sew your braids down, but if you want to do something that's just more quicker, simpler, and easier, I definitely just recommend taking a couple of bobby pins and tacking your braids down until you feel like they're pretty secure and they're not going to come loose underneath the cap. So now we're going to go ahead and put the stocking cap on. I'm only going to use one. I've seen people use two, and I think it's just to protect their hair from the glue. But I feel like if you have a really good shield, which I will show you guys what it is that I'm using to shield my hair from the glue. If you have a pretty good shield, then you shouldn't have to worry about the glue getting onto your hair at all. Speaking of getting glue in your hair, the next thing that I do is I use a white eyeliner pencil to go through the parts of my hair where I know I'm gonna have leave out. And this basically just serves as a guide so that when I'm gluing the tracks in my head, I know the spaces or the parameters, should I say, that I don't want to go past, because if I go past those parts, past those white lines, I know that's where I'm getting on the leave out, and that's not what I want to do. When I have leave out, I want to basically make sure that I'm covering my tracks and I'm not putting glue there. So we talked about sewing your braids down earlier, which again, I don't think it's necessary. I think using a few bobby pins to tack your braids down will do just fine. But one of the things that I started doing that I did not do before, which I wish I did, was actually sewing the perimeter of my cap down, because the cap is naturally going to start to fold, being that you are going to cut it when you're all done with your quick weave. But this just helps to be able to hold your cap in place. I definitely would say don't use as much string as I did, and I'm not even sure if this is the reason why it happened, but as you can see, your string will get tangled, it will piss you off, and you will have to start all over again. But basically you just want to make sure that you are sewing the outside of your braid all the way around, because this just helps to keep your cap in better place. And when I say sewing your braid, I literally just mean sewing the cap to the braid that's on the outside. Sewing the cap and the braids in the middle is not necessary at all. So remember that protective shield that I was telling you guys about earlier, which was why you don't need to have two black caps if you use this method. This Got2b is going to get so rock hard that there's no way that glue is going to seep through your cap, and that's what helps it serve as a protective shield. And you basically just want to use a blow dryer to make sure that it's extra dry. Now it's time for the fun part. So this hair that I'm using, you guys, came from off of a wig, okay? The wig was machine sewed, which is why you guys still see thread on the wefts. But basically what I'm doing before I glue the tracks down is I am measuring around my head to see the different lengths of the tracks that I want to use, so that I'm not using too little or too less, and I basically have it just right, so that when I start gluing it down, I don't have to worry about cutting or anything like that, because I already measured the wefts to my head. So I know I'm holding my hands super funny, but basically once I put that white eyeliner around where I want to lay my tracks, then I just start to put the 30-second quick dry glue on the tracks so that I can start to lay them down. I'm gonna use a blow dryer just because I noticed that the glue sticks a lot better when it's a little tacky and sticky versus when it's just super wet and has no type of tack to it at all. If you want your tracks to lay the best, I recommend starting at the top and working your way around to the back instead of starting to lay your track at the back first. I feel like it just looks better and it just lays better when you start at the very top. The closer to the top you lay, the more in your face it'll be. Once I've got the tracks laid down, then I am going to pick up the blow dryer one more time to go over the tracks with heat to make sure that they are secure and stayed in place. Not everybody does this. Some people just decide to let it air dry, but for me, I like that little extra security to make sure that the glue is being tacked down and it's not going to slip anytime soon. One of the things that I've noticed as a beginner is that once you start to get closer to the top, it can be very easy for you to mislay your tracks to the point to where your hair doesn't look full, it looks more spacey. So what I've noticed and what I've actually tried doing was you can cut your tracks once you get closer to the top. You can lay them on the side, lay them in the middle, and then lay them again on the other side, just so that it's not so hard for you to keep your hair looking full and you're actually able to lay your tracks down. As you can see, because I'm pointing it out to you guys, I did mislay some of my tracks, so it does look kind of spacey in some areas, but that's okay because I'm just gonna add a smaller track that I already cut. And as you can see, we are all done. She is nice and full and ready to cut the cap off. I do have a little space right up here at the top where I do want to lay an extra track, but I'm going to wait until I cut the cap because I want to lay the track actually on my scalp just so that I can blend better with my real hair. I did speed up this part because I don't want to bore you guys with me cutting the cap, but when you are cutting your cap, just make sure that you go really slow, not as fast as it looks in this video, and really just take your time and really pay attention, because when I tell you, it is so easy to accidentally cut your hair while you're trying to cut the cap because you're really just cutting around your hair and you honestly can't even really see. You more so just have to feel what it is that you're doing. Just make sure that you're careful and that you're cutting close enough to where you don't see any of the black cap or whatever color cap that you choose, but also far enough away so that you're not cutting your own hair off. So now that I've gotten the cap cut off, I'm just taking out my leave out just to see how it blends, to make sure that I don't have to add any extra tracks anywhere. And girl, look at that blend, okay? All the way around. She is blending. You cannot tell me that this hair did not grow directly out of my scalp. I'm gonna do a middle part. Look at that space that I showed you guys in the beginning that I added that track to, and look how well it blends. Yes, freaking ma'am. So I am back. It's the second day, literally getting ready to go to the gym, you guys. But before I did, I was like, I gotta finish this look and let you guys know what it's giving once it's actually styled. So I just decided to throw a couple of flexi rods in my hair so I can give you guys a whole entire look. And when I say I am so satisfied with how my hair came out, this is only my first time doing my own quick weave. So when I say I'm a beginner, girl, I am a beginner, but you really would not be able to tell because look at this style. Look at the fullness, look at the curl, look at the bounce, look at the blend. You cannot tell me this is not giving. So let me know how you guys like this video and if you feel like you're confident enough to try the style on yourself. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you took away some good tips. If you haven't done this yet, make sure you go subscribe, turn on the notifications, and give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.